reach back through the ages, prophets and sages, and our fathers and our mothers stalked the way. Dig down through the rubble, finding foundations on which our fathers and our mothers built a world. Expansion pathways, crossing continents and our oceans to the home of liberty. Rise up and rebuild now on the foundations. Clear the path so others can find their way home.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Taproot, the informational podcast of strategic coherence, your research and analysis professionals. My name is Todd Williams. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ and a resident of Putnam County, West Virginia. I have owned a business since 2012 and have been involved with technology most of my career. My co-host here on Taproot is Marshall Wilson. You know, Marshall, I remember meeting at a lobby day event when you were serving as a delegate for the state of West Virginia. We've been involved in many events and discussions since that time, and I look forward to having many more discussions with you and our audience. I'm both grateful and honored to be here. So please tell the folks a little about yourself and try to keep it brief.
Thanks, Todd. I'll try to keep it brief, but I can't make any promises that I'll succeed. And I assure you, sir, that it's I who am honored to be here with you. Hello, my friends. My name is Marshall Wilson. I'm a resident of South Berkeley County, West Virginia, and also the husband of a valiant woman, father of the Mighty Nine, retired combat veteran U.S. Army infantry officer, and a former Christian missionary in the Peruvian Amazon. I served in the West Virginia legislature from 2016 to 2020 and ran for governor of West Virginia in 2020. I've earned a Master of Arts degree in National Security from the Institute of World Politics in Washington, D.C., and I'm currently pursuing a PhD in National Security Policy through Liberty University while I serve as an adjunct instructor in their Military Operations Master of Arts program. Welcome to Taproot, my friends. The purpose of this program is to provide necessary intellectual tools to any person committed to restoring the American Republic. Included among those tools will be information derived from research into the historical philosophical ideals that led to the founding of the American nation and the United States government, and also the ideas that have led to its decline. Look, I realize that the statement that the American Republic is in decline is at this point a presupposition, a presumption. But I, as we progress through this program, will provide support for that assertion. And of course, you can judge that support and the validity of my claim that the American Republic has been in decline for some time. Not only will we provide critical information, but we will also analyze that information and discuss the conclusions that we reach. As we do so, we will train you, the sovereign rulers of the United States of America, you, the people, to conduct your own effective analyses so that you may apply these tools to any situation in which you might find yourselves. Of course, understanding the situation serves no purpose if that understanding is not employed to develop a valid and effective response to the situation you analyze. All of this hinges completely upon developing a profound understanding of what America is, who Americans are, what principles guide us, and toward what goal our principles guide us. To attain all of the knowledge required to develop a valid and executable course of action resulting in the restoration of the Republic, we must reach back to the beginnings, dig through the rubble, to the foundations of our civilization, and rebuild there on those foundations the philosophical structure that made America the home of liberty.
Well, Marshall, all of these things are very important. Reaching back to our beginnings shows us where we came from. Digging through the rubble to find our foundation allows us to know what we are built on and explore how we may rebuild upon that foundation. Lastly, uncovering pathways to liberty and freedom help everyone to be able to find their way home to this free, just, prosperous, and secure land.
Yes, sir. If I may, I'd like to reiterate that we intend to make this discussion not only between you and me, but also with those who hope to restore the republic. All of those who hope to restore the republic. Our first few episodes, beginning with this, our introductory episode, will be scripted to a certain degree to lay the foundation for the more organic continuing discussion, which will include a mailbag so that our listeners can get a hold of us and directly address issues that they might want to raise.
I think this will be fascinating. You know, our logo is a good image of what we're doing here.
If you notice our logo there, it's a huge tree. It's massive. It's got this large canopy. It's got a very thick trunk. It's got a lot of branches, and it provides a lot of shelter for anyone who wants to take shelter under it. That is the tree of liberty. And if you can tell, it's withstood a lot. It's a very strong tree. It's been through wars. It's been through storms. It has weathered the storm, and it's been through a lot, and still it stands. If you'll also notice, there's that massive root that goes down, that taproot that goes deep and draws up sustenance from deep and brings it all the way up and sends it all the way out through all the branches to all of the leaves. And that is the tree of liberty. And the idea here is that we want to mirror that effect so that we can again nourish the tree of liberty. So we want to trace that taproot all the way down, all the way back through the ages to where this idea of human liberty, of individual human rights comes from. And we want to bring all of it forward and send it all the way out through the entire tree of liberty so that all of the tree can be nourished and all of us can continue to shelter under its branches. So that's the idea behind the logo. And I think you'll notice that also it's got a little phrase there next to the base of the tree. It says marshaling liberty. That's of course a bit of a pun. My name is Marshall. And also the word to marshal, the verb, means to bring together and strengthen and provide with a purpose, like you marshal troops. You bring them together and you send them out on a mission. So it's marshaling liberty. And as Todd and I were talking about this, we also decided that, toddling liberty might actually be appropriate at this point too, because frankly, our liberty is toddling. It's amusing because it's a pun, but what we're really hoping is to steady our toddling liberty and to marshal it.
Okay.
Since we're looking at the logo, I would like to thank Russell Colombo of Z Space Motion Graphics in Parkerburg, West Virginia, for the design. I'd also like to thank Jazzy at Premier Podcast Productions in St. Louis, Missouri, for acumen and patience. She's our podcast producer, and she's doing a fantastic job, mainly of coaching me and Todd through this process, and we will get it right. And when we do, it will be because of Jazzy. I also want to thank Gwyneth Wilson of South Berkeley County, West Virginia, for composing and performing the Taproot theme. The Taproot theme is called Reach Back, Rise Up. And if you listen to the words, you heard it at the beginning of the program. You'll hear it at the beginning of every episode we do and at the end of every episode. And if you'll listen to the few words of that theme, I think they'll speak to you and perhaps inspire you a little bit, I hope. But we really thank Gwyneth for her work on that. Yes. And that's her beautiful voice. Stunning, her stunningly beautiful voice. Also want to thank Jason Bentley of Inwood, West Virginia, for recording Reach Back, Rise Up.
Thanks, Jason.
Yep.
Thanks,
Jason's all right. Want to thank Brian Sexton of the Intentional Encourager podcast for his intentional encouragement, as well as for his guidance in this endeavor. When we first started talking about doing this over a year ago, Brian was very helpful. He was very encouraging, of course, intentionally. and he gave me some really good ideas about how to make this happen. And I am profoundly grateful to him. And Todd, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
I would like to thank all those people too. I think they're tremendous, all of them in their own respect, and they definitely are part of what we're doing here and on board with our mission. And I know that each of them will make us successful in their own way.
Yes.
So, all right, now that everyone knows what's going on here, let's close out this discussion and dive into our next episode titled Defining America. Thanks for tuning in.
Stand fast, my friends. We'll meet you on the high ground.